When you need to wear diapers for any reason, it can have a pretty heavy impact on your mental health. Most of us generally feel some level of shame over needing them at all. Usually, by the time we make it to buying some type of protection, we've already had some pretty embarrassing moments. Even if you're just wetting the bed at night and you're somehow able to hide it from everyone, you still know about it and probably still feel ashamed about it. Sometimes in these cases, the internal dialogue we begin to develop becomes abusive and self-defeating. For a lot of us, making the decision to even wear a diaper to begin with boils down to weighing the embarrassment of having a public accident versus weighing the embarrassment of anyone potentially finding out that you need to wear diapers. Once we finally start to accept that having some form of protection is better than having no form of protection at all, we then have to reconcile with the feelings that emerge from needing to wear products such as pull-ups and adult diapers. When you first start looking for these types of products online, you're more than likely going to search for adult diapers, only to find in the search results that they are generally called incontinence briefs or protective underwear. If you don't discover this on your own through the content that you find online, you'll likely be told it at some point by a medical professional. That's a whole different topic for a whole different video that we will be releasing soon, so if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Just to touch on it briefly, this is a practice that started with good intentions, but I think that the outcome is detrimental to those of us that need to wear diapers. Trying to play all these different mental games to call a diaper something that it isn't basically creates this internal conflict, this internal dilemma within those that need to wear these products. You might call it briefs, you might call it protective underwear, you might have all these other names for it, but deep down inside, we still know that it is a diaper. As a result of creating all of these different mental barriers that are designed to hide and protect us from our own emotions, we also end up fearing people finding out and imagine the worst case scenario of what would happen if they did. Whether these imaginings are accurate or not, it can basically cause one to withdraw from the world. Dealing with all of these emotions of shame and humiliation and all these different challenges tend to be easier when you don't face anybody. It becomes a lot easier to stay in rather than suffer the humiliation felt when one needs to go for a diaper change in front of a group of friends. As a result of these fears that we harbor, we can begin to develop some odd behaviors and some negative traits, all in an effort to hide our needs from others. A lot of us will go to great lengths in order to make sure nobody ever finds out our secret. Now, this is basically a list of things that I've done, but I'd be willing to bet a lot of you have done them as well, so if you've done any of these things, let me know in the comments below. Now, I don't know about you, but there have been times when I've been at a friend's house and I've needed to go change and I was too embarrassed to actually throw away the dirty diaper there at their house, so I would just put it back in my backpack and try and throw it away somewhere once I left. I imagine this is a common issue, a common fear that a lot of us have, and one of those extra measures that we go to in order to keep our secret hidden. Another thing I've done in a lot of cases is, as a friend is coming over, I make sure I take out my trash and I put away all of my different diapering supplies that might be visible. I mean, these days I don't do it that much anymore. Obviously I got a stack of diapers back there, so that's not too much of a concern these days, but it is something that I've done in the past in order to keep my secrets hidden. Another thing we commonly do is exercise great caution over what we eat and drink in order to avoid any embarrassing mishaps. Recently I've been straying away from my regular diet and I've been regretting it, so that is something to be aware of. We only wear darker clothing when it comes to pants or shorts, as wet spots are a lot more difficult to see on darker clothes. I don't care who you are, if you have incontinence issues, bedwetting issues, or any other type of diapering needs, we will lie about it at some point. Now, whether we're telling those lies just to ourselves or to others, we still will do things in order to defend ourselves from having to face our fears. Since we fear others finding out so much and we often go to these great lengths to keep our secret, we often fear getting involved in romantic or intimate relationships. Getting in diapers is one of the toughest things for us to try to overcome. This is one area of weakness that I still have. As a result of these difficulties and challenges, many of us fear being alone our entire lives. In some cases, like perhaps in mine, our ability to form these types of relationships becomes a bit inhibited. It has taken me a very long time to build up the level of confidence that you see me display now in these videos, just to even be able to talk about it, but I still have my challenges to deal with, specifically when it comes to dating and romantic relationships. In regard to romantic relationships, we feel like no one will find us attractive simply because we need to wear a diaper. There are a lot of adults out there in the 18 to 54 age range that are still sexually active, and I'm sure even beyond that as well, that still need to have that feeling of desirability. Unfortunately, the mainstream adult diaper industry fails to recognize us younger incontinent adults as part of their demographic, so as a result, they fail to cater to some of these needs that we have. They fail to come up with effective designs that can also make us feel attractive in the type of underwear that we need to wear. For more on the issues with the adult diaper industry, check out this video next. Until next time, stay dry.